I always thought I knew my husband, Daniel Hayes. Calm, charming, reliable. He was the man everyone admired. The guy who brought flowers home just because. The man who told my mother he would protect me until his last breath. But for the past 3 weeks, something felt wrong. It started small. A late meeting here, a canceled dinner there. He began guarding his phone like it held nuclear secrets. He walked into the hallway for calls, locked the screen the moment I entered a room, and stopped looking me in the eyes the way he used to. At first, I convinced myself it was stress. His company was preparing for a merger. Long hours were normal, weren't they? But the truth is, your heart knows before your mind accepts it. Something inside me whispered, he's hiding something. The moment that broke me happened on a Friday evening. I brought him coffee at his office, something I had done countless times. But when I arrived, his assistant looked confused. "Daniel left an hour ago," she said. I froze. He had told me he'd be working late. Again. So where was he? That night, for the first time in our 5-year marriage, I lied to him. When he called to say he was still at work, I pretended to believe him. But inside, something shifted. A cold, sharp determination I had never felt before. If he was hiding something, I needed to see it with my own eyes. And so, without a plan, without thinking, I grabbed my keys and followed him into the darkest truth of our relationship.
The night I followed Daniel didn't feel real. It felt like stepping outside my own body, like watching someone else live my life. He told me he'd be home late again, another urgent client meeting. Another lie, delivered with that warm smile he always used when he wanted me to stop asking questions. I waited 10 minutes after he left the house, then grabbed my coat, slipped into my car, and followed at a distance. His taillights glowed red as he turned onto the highway. I stayed far behind, terrified he'd notice. My heart pounded so loudly I could hear it echo inside the car. Where was he going? His office was east. He was driving west. Every mile felt like a string tightening around my lungs. He finally turned into downtown, the part of the city that came alive after dark, bars and restaurants glowing with golden streetlights. But he didn't enter any of them. He kept driving, until he reached the Marquette Hotel, a luxury place, 5 stars, marble lobby, a place people go when they don't want to be disturbed. My hands began to shake. No, he wouldn't. He parked in the underground garage. I waited, gripping the wheel, until he finally stepped out of his car. I watched him adjust his jacket, check his hair in the car window, and look around nervously. This wasn't a business meeting. I followed him on foot, staying close to the shadows. When he walked into the elevator, I hid behind a pillar and watched the digital numbers climb. 6, 7, 8. He stopped on floor 8. I didn't know what I was hoping for. Maybe a misunderstanding, maybe something innocent. I waited 2 minutes, then took the next elevator up. Everything inside me screamed to turn back. The hallway was quiet. Soft carpet, dim lights, a low hum of air conditioning. My heart pounded so hard I pressed a hand against my chest. I took one step, then another, until I saw him, Daniel, standing outside a suite door. He knocked once, then again, and then the door opened. A woman stepped out. Long blonde hair, red silk dress, bare feet, smiling like she had been expecting him. She wrapped her arms around his neck and he held her, the way he used to hold me. I didn't breathe. I didn't blink. I couldn't. The world blurred around me. They kissed, slow, familiar, intimate. My knees almost gave out. In that moment, I realized something painful. It wasn't a mistake or an accident or a bad decision. It was a choice, one he had been making for weeks. Something inside me broke, so quietly, so completely, that even the hallway felt different. I turned before they could see me. I reached the elevator, vision blurred with tears. When the doors closed, the silence felt suffocating. I pressed my hands to my face and tried to breathe. But the truth was simple. My husband wasn't just lying, he was living a life I didn't know existed. And the woman he was with, I didn't even know her name. But I knew one thing. This wasn't the end. This was only the beginning of finding out why, of discovering how long, of learning what else he had hidden. I wiped my tears. I wasn't done. Not yet.
The elevator ride down from the 8th floor felt like the longest descent of my life. I stood in that small metal box, my reflection staring back at me, eyes red, hair messy, lips trembling. I barely recognized myself. When the doors opened to the lobby, I forced my legs to move. One step, then another. I walked out of the hotel as if moving through fog. Cold night air hit my face, but it didn't numb the pain. I sat inside my car, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. My body was shaking, part heartbreak, part anger, part disbelief. The questions started swirling. Who was she? How long had this been going on? Why her? Why the lies? Why destroy what we built? I didn't have answers, but I knew one thing. I wasn't going to confront him blind. I wanted the full truth, even if it ruined me. With trembling fingers, I searched the hotel's name. Marquette Hotel, guest directory. I scrolled until my eyes froze. Suite 815, Dr. Alina Mercer. The name punched the air from my lungs. I knew who she was. Everyone in the city did. Dr. Alina Mercer was a renowned relationship therapist with a massive social media following, the woman thousands of wives trusted to save their marriages. She was famous, respected, beautiful, and she was sleeping with my husband. A sick feeling settled in my stomach, but the deeper question was, why risk her entire reputation for him? I needed answers. I wasn't ready to go home. Not with my heart in pieces and my mind spinning. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I looked her up online. Her Instagram was a gallery of perfection, book deals, smiling selfies, inspirational quotes about trust and loyalty. But her latest story froze me in place. A short boomerang of red silk fabric on a hotel balcony. My blood ran cold. The same red dress she wore when she opened the door. "She's proud of this," I whispered. I scrolled further and found something worse, a photo from 3 weeks ago tagged at Daniel's office building. Their affair didn't start recently. She was meeting him at work. This wasn't casual. It wasn't temporary. It wasn't something he planned to stop. It was deliberate, calculated, a poisonous thread woven into our marriage. My phone buzzed suddenly, a text from Daniel. "Hey, still stuck at work, might be home late. Don't wait up. Heart." I stared at the screen, numb. That heart emoji felt like a slap. He was lying to me from someone else's bed. Something inside me shifted. It wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It was clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. I wiped my face, started the car, and made a decision that surprised even me. I wasn't going home. Not yet. I was going to uncover the truth behind their affair and why the city's most trusted relationship therapist was hiding in hotel rooms with married men. Whatever the truth was, I knew it would change everything.
I drove for nearly an hour without realizing where I was going. My mind was a storm. Memories, doubts, moments that once felt innocent now replaying with new meaning. The late-night showers, the sudden gym membership. The new cologne, he said, was a gift from a client. The way he started turning his phone screen away from me. All of it was connected. When I finally stopped the car, I found myself parked outside the one place I never thought I'd return to, my sister Amelia's house. She opened the door before I even knocked twice. "Olivia, what happened?" she asked, her face dropping at the sight of me. I didn't speak. I just fell into her arms and sobbed. Messy, shaking, uncontrollable sobs. The kind that feel like your chest is being ripped apart from the inside. Amelia didn't say a word. She just held me until I could breathe again. When I finally sat down on her couch, I told her everything. Daniel, the hotel, the woman in the red dress, the kiss, the lies, the name. "Dr. Alina Mercer," I whispered. "He's having an affair with her." Amelia's eyes widened. "Olivia, that woman is on TV every week. She gives marriage advice. There has to be some mistake." "I saw them," I whispered. "There's no mistake." Silence settled between us. Finally, Amelia spoke carefully, each word chosen like it mattered. "There's something you need to know about her." I looked up. "She's been under investigation, quietly, for months." My breath caught. "What do you mean?" "She has accusations against her. Multiple. Women saying she manipulated them emotionally during counseling, that she got too involved with couples going through problems, that she crossed lines." My heart pounded harder. "Lines like sleeping with married men?" I asked. Amelia hesitated, then nodded slowly. I felt sick. "So she's done this before?" I asked. "More than once," Amelia said. "And every time the story disappears. She has lawyers, PR teams, connections. Her whole brand would collapse if the truth came out." Suddenly, everything made sense. The secrecy, the hotel, the photo at his office, the way she welcomed Daniel like she owned him. This wasn't love. This wasn't passion. This was a pattern. A dangerous one. A knock sounded at the door, making me flinch. Amelia got up to check. My heart dropped when I heard her say, "What are you doing here?" I stood quickly. Daniel stepped inside, still wearing the same clothes from hours earlier, hair messy, face pale. His eyes met mine. "Olivia," he said softly, "we need to talk." Rage boiled in my chest. "Talk?" I repeated. "Now you want to talk?" He swallowed hard. "Please, it's not what you think." I laughed, a broken, bitter sound. "You kissed her. I watched you." His face fell, but he still tried. "It's complicated." The words made my blood burn. I stepped closer, seeing the guilt tremble in his eyes. "Then explain it," I whispered. "Explain why the city's most famous marriage counselor is meeting my husband in hotel rooms." He opened his mouth, and the truth came out in a way I never saw coming. I wasn't cheating. Olivia, she was blackmailing me. My entire world froze. He continued, voice shaking. "She threatened to destroy my career unless I did what she wanted." I stared at him, stunned, struggling to breathe. If he was telling the truth, this wasn't an affair. It was something far darker. And now I had to figure out which version of Daniel was real, the liar or the victim. Either way, everything was about to change. I stood in the dim light of the living room, every nerve in my body trembling as Ethan walked in through the front door. He looked tired, or maybe just guilty. The moment his eyes met mine, something in him froze. He knew. I gently placed the printed health report on the coffee table, the one from Claire's clinic, the one that said she wasn't taking any medication at all, despite telling Ethan she needed care and privacy. his face drained of color. "You went through my things?" he asked quietly. "You went through our marriage," I replied even quieter. He looked away, jaw clenched, shame collapsing his posture. I wasn't here to yell. I wasn't here to cry. I was here for the truth. "Ethan, did you ever love me? Or was I just convenient until someone more exciting showed up?" He sat down heavily, like the question itself crushed him. "I loved you," he whispered, "but somewhere I got lost. Claire made me feel wanted, and instead of fixing what we had, I chose the easy escape." His words cut deeper than any lie, but hearing them, finally, set something free inside me. "I'm not something you get to escape. I'm someone who stood by you for 6 years. Someone who deserved honesty." Ethan buried his face in his hands. "I don't expect you to forgive me. I didn't know how to stop what I'd started." Silence stretched between us, but this time it wasn't heavy. It was final. "I'm leaving, Ethan," I said gently. "Not out of anger, but because I finally understand my worth." He looked up, eyes shining with regret, but he didn't stop me. He couldn't, because for the first time in a long time, I wasn't the one losing something. He was. I walked out with my suitcase, the cold night air hitting my face, sharp, clean, liberating. The world felt bigger, like it had been waiting for me to step out of the shadows. As I drove away, I didn't look in the rearview mirror. Some stories aren't meant to be fixed. Some are meant to be left behind. And mine? I was finally ready to write again, this time with someone who deserved to be in its pages.